That was Kirk Franklin, love theory, and it seems like just that, a theory. Uh, a contrast in two different protests. Right now, white protesters all over the country are going to the state houses of their local governments and asking and protesting and bringing guns and marching and shouting to be able to go to the mall, to be able to get a haircut, to be able to go back to work, to be able to pursue the life that they had before COVID struck. Irrespective of what's going on, the fact that the death tally continues to grow, the fact that the cases continue to grow, no concern at all. We want our lives back. We want our lives back. Conversely, black people all over the country have taken to the streets to argue for justice for a young man in Brunswick, Georgia, who was gunned down doing nothing more than jogging. A young man caught on video being murdered by two men, and they're in February, and there was nothing to see here. You march to be able to resume your life. We march so that our children can have them. You march to get a haircut. We march so our children's lives don't get cut short. There's a contrast in things that motivate us. Oftentimes, we are driven to protest by stark injustice. Contrast that with people who just want to go back to life as they know it, when this young man will never see life again. You are protesting to be selfish, to go back and do a thing. We just want to live. It's really that simple. You conjure up our civil rights heroes, Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. Do you think that they would be marching so you could go back to Sbarro's at the mall? Or do you think they would be more inclined to be marching for the same injustice that they would have seen even back then? The one thing that is consistent between 1820 and 1920 and 2020 is the way that black people can be slaughtered with no one being brought to account. You march for stuff that you want, for things that would be nice. We march to live. We march so that people's lives truly get to count. You march because you're angry. You're angry that somebody took something away from you you thought was your God-given right. We march because somebody took something away from somebody that actually was their God-given right, their life. A tale of two protests. There's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.